Hey, hey, it's your girl, your chief business educator, LaTonia Monroe Naylor, here this week to talk to you about four things that will cause you to pay back your money, that free money. Okay? Four things that will cause you to pay back free money for your business, for your house, whatever it is that you've applied for free money for. Specifically, here we're talking about businesses and nonprofit organizations, but the reality is that you can get grants for just about anything nowadays. And so today I'm going to share with you four things that will cause you to have to pay back money that's supposed to be free. And so, first of all, I just have to say I'm so happy that I've been sticking with this because I've been trying to do these every Tuesday, sticking with something that I plan and really put on my schedule that this is a goal that I want to accomplish. And a lot of times when we set a goal, guess what? Just as quick as we said it, the enemy comes to try to distract us and try to get us off track. And it's not always bad things. Like today was a really great day. I was so happy to celebrate a couple of my nieces and one of my nephews who graduated from high school today. And it was so exciting, so joyful to be able to see them in their highlight of their moment. Knowing that they worked so hard to get where they are and really getting ready to move on to another chapter of their lives, many of them going away to college and all of that good stuff. And so it just made me think more sternly like, look, you set a goal and you have to accomplish it. And it doesn't matter that it's almost midnight, it's still Tuesday. So we're going to go ahead and get it in, right? So if you're wondering why I got some bags under my eyes, it's because it's late. But guess what? That doesn't mean anything when you're a mission rich business owner because there's many nights when we're working to 3 or 4 in the morning when we have project deadlines, right? So with that being said, let's jump into it because I am so happy to share with you the first thing that can cause you to have to pay back free money is that you do not qualify for the grant. And what I mean by that is a lot of times people will apply for funding and they will say that they're a 501c3, which is what you need to be most of the time when you're a nonprofit. There's two categories when you are applying for grants as a nonprofit. You either are a 501c3 entity or you are using a fiscal sponsor who has a 501c3, right? Those are the two categories. So now if you are applying for a grant and you say that you are a 501c3, whether it's fiscal or not, and you're not a 501c3, you don't have a certification or you haven't done everything to prove that you are one, then you are going to find yourself in a very difficult position. Why? Because you're not eligible. There's other things that can make you ineligible. Like, for example, it might say you need to have a percentage of a population that you serve that have a certain demographic or a certain need level or something like that. And if you say that you do, and later on they find out that's not the case, you don't qualify. They might say it's for a specific gender or a specific culture or specific purpose. And whatever it is, if you do not fall within those guidelines, you do not qualify. Now, there are situations that may occur where somebody may get a grant based on the application, not qualify, and have to pay the money back because the funder found out later on that they didn't qualify. So just be upfront about what it is that you're doing because at the end of the day, you don't want to be in a situation where you don't qualify for the grant and you're acting like you do. The second one is misappropriating funds. This is a huge one that many people do and oftentimes not intentionally. Sometimes people misappropriate funds. In other words, you take money and put it in one place or another place, and you really don't know you're not supposed to do that. You really don't know that you're not supposed to take restricted dollars and use them for an unrestricted purpose, right? And when I say that, the bottom line is that you apply for funding and you say you're going to use it for something and you don't use it for that, you use it for something else. Now, this is very problematic when you hire a grant writer and they do not understand the mission of your organization or the purpose of your project. A lot of times what they will do is they will create this budget and they will do all these things for you to get the funding, and then once you get the funding, all of a sudden you're restricted to spending the money a certain way Depending on the type of grant you get and who gives you the money, they may have more restrictions as to what you can and cannot move around in your budget. So you could be in a space where you have $50,000 on a grant, but only 5% could be used for administrative overhead. And the minute you go and use 15 or 20% because you need to pay a salary, now you're in violation of the grant. Now you're misappropriating funds. Now you can get in trouble and now you may have to pay that money back. You do not want to be in that situation. Let me tell you, I know many of organizations, one in particular is in my mind that I shall not name, that lost a lot of things because they had to pay back money to the government because they were misappropriating dollars and doing a lot of other things that they shouldn't be doing. Now, it's no secret. It's in the news every day. You can pick up a newspaper and you will find that there's an organization that has lost funding, an organization that has to pay money back. This is why I always say to people when they tell me, oh, the money is just for free. No, it's not. There's expectations that you are going to do what you said that you would do to get that money. And if you therefore make the naive decision, I'm going to say naive and not that you're trying to be a crook that you decide that you're going to take that money and use it for something else, you can be in big trouble. Now, if it's a small foundation, small dollars, they may not bother you, but the reality is that they can. And if they don't ask you for the money back right away, they could blackball you and next thing you know, or blacklist you that you're not able to get any of that money back. So it's very important for you to know these things. Do not misappropriate dollars, okay? The next one, it's embellishing on the application. Now, y'all see I put that lying because that's really what it is. If you say you're going to do something with the money and you know good and well that's not what you're planning to do with it, then you are in fact lying. And if you're lying, you will absolutely end up paying that money back. Because once the funder finds out that you had no intent at all. So this is different from not qualifying for the grant where you might say you're a 501, maybe think you are and you're not, or you apply for your 501c3 status and then it gets rejected or something like that. Yeah, those things happen. Or you say you're a LLC, but you really don't know that you're really still a sole proprietor and you haven't obtained your LLC status because you didn't understand the difference. That is different when you are looking at saying something and you're not eligible because you don't know, then you just lying. Now, some people lie on their application. They make up stuff. And this goes back to again what I just said with number two. Be mindful of the grant writers that you bring in because grant writers will say and do a lot of things, especially if you are paying them according to how much money they get for you. Because if you're paying them according to how much money they get for you, they're going to apply for the most money and they're going to say whatever it is they need to say to get that money because they know that is how they're going to get paid. You always want to pay a grant writer based on a fee and just a fee. It doesn't matter if they're getting $1 million for you or 30,000 or $500 that you always have a set fee that you're giving them based on the amount of work that you're doing, the amount of time it's going to take, what kind of grant is it? Is it a federal, state? Because different grants have different amounts of time that it takes for you to complete it. But it is very important that you do not lie on your application. Not only will you get blacklisted, not only will they put you in a corner somewhere, act like they don't ever know you and want to fund you again, you could be in danger of losing your 501c3 status as well if you're a 501c3 organization. You could be at risk of losing your status as a business because if there's anything that suggests that you are intentionally trying to um play games with the government, not pay taxes or not do what you're supposed to do or lying about grant funds or whatever and now you got to pay it back, like those things can be very dangerous. Not just you having to pay the money back, but you not having an organization. The very last thing is violating your grant contract. You get a grant contract after you are accepted, like your grant application is accepted. You get a grant application that you have to sign off on, that the funder signs off on, and they give you a whole bunch of stipulations. And I guarantee you, if you read the stipulations in any of your grant contracts, you are going to see a clause that says something to the effect of you will have to pay the money back if you do XYZ. Okay? Do not violate your grant contract. If something comes up and you really can't follow through on what you committed to do, or if something comes up and you have to change course because of whatever reason, just be upfront with your grant funder and let them know. Because if you're playing games and if you're lying and you're doing whatever, you are going to violate your grant contract. You are going to have to pay that money back and or worse, some people go to jail. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to go to jail. I don't think that's a place for me. I don't think that that attire is the kind of attire that I want to wear. I don't think it goes with my preferential lifestyle. So I'm not trying to go to jail. That's all I'm trying to say. So if you want to go to jail or you think it's not a problem, hey, that's on you. Go ahead, keep writing an application. But for me, in my house, we're gonna be very honest. So you have to pay attention to the fact that if you violate your grant contract, not only let me make this very clear. If you're a LLC and you're a single member, that affects you and you only. If you are a nonprofit and you're lying, you have a whole board that are now going to be held accountable if you are not doing what you're supposed to do. So if you are a board member and you're listening to this and you're like, oh, not paying attention to what the grants are doing, I would strongly, strongly suggest that you start paying attention to what is happening with the grants that are going into your organization. Because if for some reason somebody does not do what they say that they're going to do, you can also be held liable because you have a fiduciary responsibility to pay attention to what is happening with the funds that are coming in and going out of your organization. So, with that, I am going to see y'all next week. I don't know. I might jump back on later this week. I have some surprises that'll be coming up for the next month. I have some special guests that I'll be bringing in to do some special topics, especially for those of you who are in the Mission Rich Academy. Okay, the Mission Rich Academy is super, super. Um, it's super. That's all I can say. It's super, right? A lot of people are in the program and really enjoy what they're getting out of the program, learning a lot, gaining a lot. The various classes that we have that I'm teaching and coaching and bringing in folks to work with us on are going to be amazing and going to transform the way that you do business forever. So I strongly suggest that if you are not already, please do get involved more with Monroe Naylor Consulting. You can join our mailing list, get more information. Our mailing list is free. So you can go ahead and inbox me if you want to be added to the mailing list. You can go to my Facebook page, to my Instagram page, to my LinkedIn page. You can go to my website to get more information on how to join my mailing list. If you are interested in working with me, wanted to better understand how you can do better, whether it's taking a class, whether it's some coaching that you would like, please check me out because I do believe that everything that you have in you already is enough to bring you where you need to go. It's just a matter of unpacking it and getting the direction of how to utilize what's already in you. And anything else that can help you along the way, we're here to help you with that as well. So, with that being said, I am going to call it a night. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all have a great rest of your evening and week. All right. God bless you.